Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Anglican Church Grammar School, better known as Churchie. My name is Melissa Downs from 9 News. Welcome to our virtual open day being live streamed. We hope you will enjoy getting a taste of what Churchie is all about. We're going to take you on a tour through the prep school today. We're going to meet some of the students, we're going to meet some teachers, we're going to meet some parents, and we will meet some of the heads of the school, including Head of Prep, Mark Wire. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Melissa.
Tell us a little bit about the prep school.
Prep school, we're a reception to Year 6 preparatory school for boys, focusing on boys' education. And I think the best thing about having a boys' school for these young men is that we focus on the making of men and that journey from boyhood to adulthood, and that transition from a young man into a teenager, into that man leaving school and that end outcome. And I suppose for me that's the best thing about the school, is that journey, and we focus and start that journey for our reception boys right from day one.
Yeah. How does that happen though? I mean, we talk about the making of men, and in one way you understand that from the senior school, but how do the little boys understand that?
Yeah, and that's a great question, because what we do is at that first stage we start talking to the boys about our values and our expectations and our standards, and I think that's really important that the boys understand that, and that translates through their journey through the prep school as well. So when you see boys in the classroom today, you're going to see happy and
I'm going to bring you over this way. We've
men.
got some of our lovely young boys coming in.
Morning, boys.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning, boys. Good morning.
Good morning. What grade is this?
This is
Year
grade
4.
4.
Okay, great.
And what a perfect example of those boys showing those manners and expectations and standards of the school. So that's something that you'll see that will happen naturally throughout the course of the day as well.
What are the teacher to student ratios you have here at junior school?
So in reception we have class sizes of 22. In Year 3 to Year 6 is up to 26 boys.
Yeah, and how important is that, having that personal relationship between teacher and student?
I suppose when you get to know the boys, and the biggest thing for boys in boys' education is the relationship. So boys love to get to know their teachers, and those numbers facilitate that, and you get to see teachers have a strong relationship with those boys. And when you see the boys operating in the classroom, they love their teachers, they walk over hot coals for their teachers, they'll do anything for those teachers. So those numbers really facilitate those relationships, which are really important for boys.
So one of the other big things for boys is space.
It is.
And you have a lot of space.
We are very fortunate. Being an inner city school, we have a lot of space where our boys can enjoy and run around. You can see the playground in the background where they get to enjoy, play, explore, discover, problem solve. So that's really important for boys. They have the opportunity to use the basketball courts on offer, the ovals. They love handball, so when you walk through the school you'll see the squares, and the boys will be engaged in handball and all sorts of activities which they love.
Yeah. All right, let's start taking a walk through the school. Yeah. So there are 3 playgrounds.
3 playgrounds in the school, so we have the one just sort of to our right as we walk along, and this is for our older boys, so they get access to the basketball courts, the play gym, the award-winning playground slide that you can sort of see out to your right, and then we have some ovals that the boys play on. We've just purposely built a special Year 2 and 3 play gym and play equipment area for those boys. We have this sort of area to our right too, where boys engage in chess. They'll get out here and you can see the squares. They love playing handball. So it just fosters that problem solving, resilience. They develop some, this is where they develop their relationships outside of the classroom as well. So it's really important that we have these spaces and facilities for the boys.
And what about the wider grounds of the school? There's, 22,000 hectares?
It's a massive property, but the boys on their day-to-day basis stay within the prep campus, but they do get to enjoy the facilities beyond the 4 walls of the prep school. So we have ovals where they engage in their sport. They get into the swimming pool where they do their PE lessons in the pool. They get to enjoy the Morris Hall, Campbell Centre, all the vast facilities of the school, which is fantastic that the boys get to access and use. So it's not just the prep school, it's a whole school facility that they get to use.
And I know one of the things some parents have mentioned to me, what they love about the school as well, is that any after-school activities, the boys can take themselves because it's all on site.
Yes, and that's the benefit, I suppose, that after school boys get themselves organised, they get changed, and they head off to their sporting facilities, they head off to their musical or cultural pursuits that they get involved in. So the benefit, I suppose, for parents is that once they drop them at school, they get involved in their academic program, they get involved in their co-curricular program, and they can pick them up at the end of the school day, having a fantastic day, enjoy the day, enjoying the holistic nature of the school and the offerings that we have here.
Okay, so we are going to head towards the Year 6 class, but on our way here, this is the Japanese class. So that's the only language that's offered here in the prep school.
We do. We have Japanese on offer from reception through to grade 6. I suppose the benefit of starting at such a young age is that the boys when you go into a Japanese classroom, the lesson is actually delivered in the Japanese language. So very little English is delivered in these lessons. So as you can see in there at the moment, they're just sort of working on their Japanese, they do cultural studies, they do language studies just as much. But I suppose the defining thing for me is that when you walk into that classroom, they love learning a language, they're enthused, they're engaged. But it's done in the Japanese language. So it's fantastic to see that the boys have picked that up and started that journey from reception.
Yeah, that's wonderful. All right, I think we're ready to...
yeah, we can have a look at one of the Year 6 classrooms. But before we do, I think we could introduce you to Scott Huntington, who's our school registrar.
Hi, Scott. Yes.
He's the man for all your inquiries about enrolments and admissions. So I'll hand you over to Scott.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for your time today. Here we go, Scott. We're going to have a look at the Year 6 classroom.
Absolutely. We're going to come in, have a look, meet some boys and get a feel for what it's really like at Churchie.
Yes.
Great.
Let's
come
head
on
in.
through.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. Great. Take a seat.
And I'm Melissa. We did meet the other week when I came in. Also, how are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Yes, Scott Whitehead, teacher here today. What are the boys working on?
The boys are currently looking at an inquiry into how the world works.
Okay.
So at the moment they're looking into some curiosities that they're wanting to discover more about, specifically scientific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at Churchie here they have the IB program,
Yes.
the thinking skills. How does that work in the classroom?
So the IB has approaches to learning. So I guess it's more about moving away from content knowledge and more looking at the skills involved. So thinking skills, research, social, communication. So
Yes.
we can always in 2020 find information, but it's what we do with it these days. So that's the big focus.
And what's the difference for you teaching a classroom of boys?
Never a dull moment. So there's just so much energy and enthusiasm with the boys. I guess the biggest thing as a teacher of boys is trying to engage them.
Yes.
So finding something that I guess is something that they're interested in, student-centred. That's when you capture them, and that's when they're really keen to get into it. So, but look, they're enthusiastic and always, going. So hands-on activities, everything. So
now, I believe there are a couple of boys who've put their hands up.
So we've got Rory down here who's happy to have a chat to you.
Yeah, okay, Rory, can you tell me what questions I'm curious about? What are you curious about then?
Well, I'm looking at elements of a hydrofoil.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, how does the board stay up out of the water?
I always wonder that too, because we often have it on our surf report, and I always think, how does that happen? So now, are you going to answer these questions yourself?
Or I'll research further into it and inquire about them. And try and figure them out.
Okay, and what else? How do you get up on it in the first place?
Yeah.
I don't know. You might have to go and ride one yourself, and then you'll know all the answers. Okay. And thank you, Rory. Who else do we have? Yes.
Fletcher over here, Fletcher Denton.
Fletcher, how are you?
Good, thank you.
That's good. Oh, you're doing drones
Yes.
and cars.
Cars is my next page.
Okay. So what are you working on with the drone?
I'm working on how a drone works. So,
Yes.
for example, the propellers, how it lifts the drone up in the air.
And what else? And what are your questions? What are you...
My questions are, how do drones stay in the air? How do you see a live view from the drone? Why does a drone need landing pads? How is the drone controlled? And why does the drone need 4 propellers?
Okay, so how are you going to research that? Do you do that on your
On
laptop?
my laptops,
Okay,
yeah.
and so you all get a laptop?
We all get a laptop here, yes.
Yeah, and take it home.
Yes.
So you started in grade 5?
5,
Yes. And how did you find settling into Churchie?
I found it pretty easy.
Yeah.
Everyone's nice here.
Yeah. Did you know anyone when you came?
I knew a few boys from my old school, but
Yes.
not really.
No. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. All right. Thank you very much, Rory.
Melissa, let's come over and meet John.
Yes. Okay. Hello, John. How are you?
Good, thank you.
What are you working on?
I'm researching a bit deeper into Formula One cars.
Okay.
I'm trying to find out how they go so fast.
Yes. What's different about the engine?
Yeah, like how powerful is it?
Yes.
Why are the wheels like this shape? And just like why it looks so much different from a regular car.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
So tell me about a typical day here at school. How does the day pan out?
Well, yeah. In the morning,
Yeah.
we do a little bit of pastoral care. Just playing handball outside with our friends, and then the bell rings. We come inside and we learn a lot about English. We sometimes do writing and maths. And right now, what we're doing is UOI, which is our Unit of Inquiry.
Yes.
This term, it's how the world works, which is basically like science and like finding all about different things. So, yeah.
Sounds like you are right on top of it. And what about sport and other activities?
Yeah, so our sport days are on Monday morning.
Yes.
And this term we're focusing on swimming.
Okay.
And
you've got those beautiful pools.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great. All right, John, thank you for your time this morning. I'll let you get back to your work.
Melissa, let's go and have a look at year 1.
Yes,
and
okay.
reception. And I thought we could bring some boys along.
Yeah, love that.
Tom and Hamish, if you want to come with me, and we'll you can show Ms. Downs what year 1's all about and talk about your experiences.
Thanks, boys. Bye. See you. All right. Now, I did spy when I was here the billy carts just around the corner, and I know that they are pretty special because my girls used to go to Oaklands and they would come out and watch the billy cart races. So tell me about the billy cart races.
Yeah, so the billy cart races are really good. So
Yeah.
there's every boy from year, well, if you want to do it,
Yeah.
most boys do it, but every year from year 4 to 6, we
Yes.
do a billy cart race.
Yes.
And
And you have to build them, don't you?
yeah, you build them, or you can get a second-hand one from like
Okay.
any person. And you have a team of 3 people, and there's the first heat, second heat, and then the finals. And there are different prizes like fastest card in year 4, and then most creative card and best dress. And it's a really fun day, and everyone has fun, and it's a good way to end the term.
And good teamwork. Everyone works together.
Yes, it originated from a fundraising event, and it is still a fundraising event made by a few Year 6 classes.
So who do you fundraise for? Does that change every year?
We fundraise of quite a few charities, but the main one is World Vision.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
All right, we're going to walk through it this way, and I know you're going to tell me, I think, about this beautiful artwork. So it's the artist in residence, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me about this one, because it's all recycling, isn't it?
Yes, so Miss Shimol
Yes.
came and taught us about using recyclable objects like bottle caps and plastic and stuff to make really beautiful artwork.
I love them. I've seen this style before done with buttons, but to recycle all the tops like that, I love it. And how important is art? I know art, and then you do choir as well. Music. How important is music in the prep school?
There is quite a good music program.
Yes.
There's a lot of performances and there's a lot of motivation.
Yeah. What songs
Good
are you
teachers.
working on at the moment? Do you know?
No.
That's all right. Sometimes, when you're put on the spot like that. Now, this is the art class, isn't it? This is where you do all your artwork.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're a sporty guy, Hamish, but do you still love art?
Oh yeah, art's probably my second favourite subject after sport. Yeah, at the moment we're doing this thing, skateboards, and we get to design our own skateboard in a different sort of art. Like there's op art, street art, and pop art. And you get to choose which style of art. You study a artist, and then you design your skateboard, and it's really cool.
That is fantastic. Okay, now I can see here lots of pictures of school camp. Is this one of the highlights of the year?
Yes, it's really good. I love school camp. We've been doing this school camp since year 2.
Yeah.
It's like really good because you show teamwork. We get to go. This year we went to Alanda Point, which is near Noosa, and we went camping, and we went surfing, and we went bushwalking. It was really fun.
And so do you go on camp every year?
Yes.
Okay.
Once you get past grade 2, you go on camps till the rest of for the rest of school, yeah.
That is wonderful. Now, we are heading over to Year 1, and I just wanted to get a couple of quick questions in, because there's a really important buddy program between the older boys and the younger boys, isn't there? What does that involve, being a buddy?
Well, if you're the older buddy,
Yes.
you like help your younger buddy through tasks.
Yes.
Have fun with them, show them how to be a churchy boy,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah? What do you think?
Yeah, buddies is really good. I remember when I was in prep and Year 1 and Year 2 and Year 3, I had an older boy and I looked up to him, and it was really fun. And this year we get to have a prep buddy, and we do tasks with him. We read a book to him, our favourite book when we were a child, and it's really good.
How are you boys feeling about going into senior school next year?
I'm a bit nervous, but I'm ready for it. I can't wait.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You feel
same.
the same?
Yeah.
All right,
Have you boys done your shadowing day in senior school?
No, so we're doing it next Tuesday, but I heard from my friends they did it yesterday and they loved it.
And what was it? What
Yeah,
exactly
what does
do they
that do?
do?
You stay with a boy for a day
Up in
who's
year
in Year
seven?
7, and you just go to all his classes and sort of just sit next to him and
Learn what your subject's
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
And get a feel for how to find your way around the senior school.
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah, that's great.
All right.
Let's go have a look at Year 1.
And this is another one of your playgrounds. You get
Yeah.
3. A bit spoiled, you boys.
Yes.
Yeah,
And handball's a major thing, isn't it?
Yes.
yeah, handball's really fun.
Okay. Well, boys, thank you very much. I'm going to let Scott take me in here. Hamish, Tom, thank you so much for your time. You can head back to your class.
Thanks,
you.
boys.
Bye.
All right, let's have a look at Year 1 and what they do at the beginning of school.
Okay, let's head in. Great. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Boys, can we stand up and say good morning, please?
I've been promoted, I think.
Yes,
That's
they're
nice.
promoted.
Good morning, boys. Please
Hi.
take a seat.
My name's Melissa. We're just here with the crew. We're having a look around to see what you do during a day in Year 1. So I'm going to come over and have a quick talk with Mr. Grigg. John, gee, I don't want to stand on the glue. What is happening down here?
So this is part of an ongoing inquiry into money.
Money.
So we've got rotations
Okay.
going on around the room. These boys are working on different combinations of coins that equal the totals on their pages.
Okay.
But we have a few different rotations. A group over there on the iPads are doing money recognition on an app there.
Yes.
This group over here is doing a game where they have to collect coins but constantly work out the totals of the coins that they've got.
Yes.
And in the back of the room there's a harder concept of a game that involves buying items from a shop but also being able to give change.
Yes, okay.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. And is this your first all-boys school, teaching all boys?
Yes, it is, yeah.
And how is it different from, how do you find the teaching different, what you do differently in these
I
classrooms?
think the learning needs to be, especially with younger boys too,
Yes.
the learning needs to be active. You've got to change it up a bit. So these rotations are like shorter durations, maybe 10, 15 minutes maximum, and then we'll switch it around. But lots of doing and lots of hands-on.
And what about the IB? How does that work in these younger years?
So we work on 6 units of inquiry throughout the year, and the learning in the PYP, it's all about learning through collaboration.
Okay.
So it's not a quiet process. You'll see the boys talking to each other.
Yes.
You'll see them collaborating and sharing ideas, and the whole idea that learning is a collaborative process.
Okay.
And it's active, it's not a passive process.
Yes. All right, that's great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, pleasure.
We'll have a little wander around. Do we want to see what some of the other groups are doing?
Sure.
Or
I think maybe
we're aware
we-
of the time, so
we
yes.
might go out and have a chat with some mums.
The mums, okay, great. Good morning, boys. How are you? We're going to head over, talk to our mums. You're doing a little impromptu visit, Dr. Campbell. Lovely. We're going to talk to you a little bit later. So we've got Georgia Barclay and Carly Scott, both mums of boys in the prep school. Tell me, first of all, why did you choose Churchie?
We chose Churchie. We spoke to lots of people, old boys, young boys, past boys, and there's just a passion for the school that's just so beautiful. And yeah, we did a lot of research before we sent our boys here, but couldn't be happier.
Georgia?
I think I'm a bit the same. We did a lot of research before we decided to send both our boys here, and we went to lots of schools and we talked to lots of people, and it really came down to the way that Churchie teaches young boys, unapologetically teach young men, or young boys to be young men, that we just thought it's going to suit our sons and they'll be happy and confident here.
Now, your boys started right from prep. Reception. We've just been seeing some of those classes.
Yeah.
You didn't have any doubts of sending right from the beginning. I mean, some people have that. Oh, should they do a few years of co-ed or not? But you've.
We just had such importance and place value on the fact that their fundamentals, learning the fundamentals of reading and writing, was so important to us. So the things that drew us were the small class sizes. That there's only 2 classes in reception and year 1. Yes. So then they're part of a little village, and the learning journey is really tailored to the particular child, because I've got 2 very different learners and I've had 2 different parts with my kids, and they've both been wonderful. So yeah, really good.
And Georgia, your boys came in year 5.
Yeah, so our eldest Casper started in grade 5 last year, and then our middle son Aston started in grade 5 this year. And we decided that it was good to start in grade 5 for both the boys, sort of to almost get them ready for high school as well, going into the senior school. That was important for us, and I think it was a huge jump going from a small primary school to coming into Churchie. But my son Aston, the other day, we were over dinner, he said to me, I said to him, what do you love about Churchie? And of course it was the music and the sport and the grounds and everything. And he said, but Mum, I really, really love the learning. I thought, isn't that amazing for a grade 5 boy to say that he's loving the learning? And he said, I just really, really appreciate my teacher, and I think he really feels like his teacher teaches him, and is bringing out the best in him. And both our sons are incredibly grateful that they're coming to a school like Churchie. They really, really do, all the time. They've never said that they don't like school or anything like that. They really genuinely love coming here.
And what about settling in, just from coming in at that grade 5?
Yeah, it's been great. I think the school, I mean, of course it attracts amazing teachers, a school like this, but the background staff and all that staff that are sort of behind the scenes that you don't really see, that are actually helping the teachers teach, to let them do their job, I think is so beneficial. And I think that is what's really helped both our sons make that jump from a small primary school into a school like Churchie. And I think it's got an amazing culture here of caring and kindness and all those attributes that you still want in a young man, young man to be. I think there is a lot of focus on that, and that's helped. And they've grown confident in themselves. They've grown confident that they can ask questions, and they don't have to be shy, and if they're struggling with something, they can put their hand up. So.
And what about, just quickly, because I think we have to move on, but what about parental involvement? Do you always feel included, or you can
absolutely.
get involved as much as you want?
Yeah, there's lots of different things you can do. The sporting days, well, this year's a little bit different. This year has been a bit different, but I'm sure that's at every school. The sporting days, the excursions, we've been on some super fun excursions. What else is there? The assemblies. Yeah.
And there's no pressure either way. I work full time, and if I can come in and help and do things in the school or be involved with my boys, it's great. It just sort of works in whatever. I think there's lots of families that are both working, or at times they can do more with the school. But I mean, I would love to do lots at the school because it's fun. It is great. It's a great culture for parents as well, and meeting new people and connecting with your children's friends and things. And I think Churchie's really good at creating that community here.
All right, thank you so much for your time. I think we're going to
let's go have a look at year
head
3.
on. We're going to head up to year 3. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Georgia. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, let's go up and have a look at year 3.
Thank you, boys. These are the sons. These are the sons.
Wow.
You're very busily playing handball, so thank you for.
Thank you, boys. Okay, so let's go have a look at year 3. On the way, you'll notice we're constructing a new building just for these boys.
Yes.
We're actually building 3 classrooms at the top for year 3, and then at the bottom we're building 3 art spaces. Because art is a really important part of developing that creativity.
Well, and it's interesting that all the boys have talked about art. Even the sporty boys, Hamish, who admitted he's the sporty guy, but art was his second favourite. So it's interesting that you do really need to develop that.
Yeah.
And there's always development going on.
There
is.
At the school. And we're not doing it to fit in more boys. That's not our goal. We're not trying to expand. We're just improving facilities and just adding to that quality. So that's something that's very important to us.
Now we do have to go up a set of stairs here. We're going to do it quickly. It's a bit echoey, but one of the things I wanted to talk about that was raised, I mean, for some families, they might love to send the boy from reception. It's a financial commitment to send a child for all of those years, but why is it so beneficial to have that boys-only curriculum? I mean, the mums talked about it, the teachers have talked about it, for the boys too.
Absolutely. So it's quite common, a lot of families think, well, we'll start in year 7. Yes. But if you stop and think about it, by the time a boy's 13, he's already decided whether he likes school. Yes. He's already decided whether he's smart or not. He's already decided what sports he's into. And sometimes I think it's sad that perhaps we miss those opportunities to expose the boys to this tremendous opportunities and the breadth of things that they can do here. So here we are here. This is a fantastic...
This is
the oldest building in the school. It's called Schoolhouse.
Yes.
And down the bottom it's boarding, but up here we've got our year 3 classrooms for now until the new building's built.
And year 3 is one of the intake years.
Absolutely.
Yes, so it's reception?
Reception, 3, 5 and year 7.
Okay.
So let's go in and have a little look. I do believe we might have a music class on today.
Great job. Let's add our melody. Here we go. Tick-a-tick-a-tee, tee, tee, tick-a-tee, tee, tick-a-tick-a-tee, tee, 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 ta. Tick-a-tick-a-tee, tee, tee, tick-a-tee, tee, tick-a-tick-a-tee, tee, 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 ta. Great job. Let's go a bit faster.
I love one of the things you talked to me about the other day was saying that something like singing. When you're in a boys' school,
absolutely,
the boys sing.
Yeah. A lot of people think that a boys' school is going to be boisterous and full of energy and boys will lose that softness to them that such cute little boys have. So what we find here is actually quite the opposite. You find that in a boys' school, boys are actually free to be themselves.
Yes.
Because there's no girls, there's also no pressure to be a particular way.
Yes.
So what we find is boys love to sing. And at Churchie, we have 3 full choirs just in the senior school.
Yes.
We've got a cathedral chorister program that runs right from year 4, where the boys singing in the cathedral. So our boys love to sing, and when they're in an all-boys environment, they have the opportunity to explore whether it's singing or music or chess. It's not just all rugby and sport, though that is there, of course. But it does allow the boys that opportunity, I think, to really just find who they are.
It's beautiful. All right.
Thank you.
We're going to keep heading on. So this is a good vantage point to see just how big the school is.
Absolutely. So from here you can see just some of the expanse of the school. The school's actually on 13 hectares, which means we actually have in the distance 11 fields. And the really wonderful thing, I think, from a look, let's be honest, Melissa, family logistics are important.
Yes,
so,
yes.
you know, getting kids to and from school and all those things, it all happens here.
Yes.
In the distance, we've got 3 swimming pools, Olympic size, a 25 metre and a learn to swim pool. We've even got the creek where the boarders can go fishing. Mind you, I wouldn't eat anything that you could. Maybe just fish and throw it back. And a sports centre as well.
Do the prep boys use the big hall?
They've actually got their own.
Oh, they've got their own.
Own sports, full indoor basketball centre, and some of the senior boys might use it as part of the GPS competition.
Yes.
So from year 5, the boys get to engage in GPS sports, and previous to that, we spend a lot of time just developing those skills and exposing them to as wide a range of sports and activities as we can.
Okay, we're going to bring in the Headmaster of the school in total, Dr. Alan Campbell. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, thank you, Melissa.
I mean, it's a beautiful school.
We are very, very fortunate. A modest Anglican priest, probably around about 115 to 120 years ago, had a vision. He then lived in Melbourne, and he felt that Brisbane and Queensland was just ready for a boys' school that would be full of aspiration and ambition. So it was he came to Brisbane with his wife, and this wonderful visionary campus and school was started a little over 108 years ago. And I think the boys come to know, families certainly come to know in due course, that they're incredibly fortunate to have the opportunities that they have when they come here.
Tell me about the links between the prep school and the senior school.
Lots of formal and informal links across. I mean, Scott's described the fact that there are brothers and lots of family members, but I think just 2 immediate and joyful examples that come to mind. Tomorrow night there's a gala music concert, so there'll be boys feature in that concert from year 3 on strings, right through to year 12. So effectively from 7, 8 years of age through to 18 years of age. They will make music together over about an hour and a half in our Morris Hall. So it's a beautiful expression of the boys' creativity and artistic ability. But in essence, we've got all these multi-aged boys together, which is lovely. Another beautiful example is, while the school is forward-looking and very ambitious and, as I said before, aspirational, Anzac Day is an important celebration. So every boy across the life of the school, family, relatives and friends, local citizens come and acknowledge Anzac Day with us and give thanks for those who've gone before, acknowledge that important part of our history. So there's formal and informal, but that's a key ritual where we share in the full life of the school.
Yes, and tomorrow we are going to be doing our tour of the senior school. That's from 9:45 tomorrow morning. But from today, if anyone wanted more information about the prep school, they come to you.
Come to me. I'd love to take people. We've got some Headmasters tours open up for the prep, which they can engage with online. They can give me a call. I'd love to take people on a personalised tour, and we can talk about bringing their son into the blue and grey.
Yes.
Melissa, may I just offer a thank you to all the people who are spending time viewing this, either now live or in fact who might do in the ensuing days. We want to say thank you. We'd otherwise love to have you here. You know, our preference, of course, is to bring people on campus to make that personal connection with them. You'll catch us being normal on any given day. And we're very, very happy for that to happen, because we know that mums and dads make a really critical decision in partnering with a school to educate their son.
Yes.
So we'd otherwise love to have mum and dad here. We can't have you here given the circumstances. We felt this was the next best thing. So we want to say thank you to those who are giving their time today to view this and learn a little bit more about how we educate boys at Churchie.
Yeah, thank you. We do hope that we have given you a taste of what Churchie has to offer. And of course, if you have any more questions, Scott is the man to see. For those who are joining us tomorrow, we will see you at 9:45 for a tour of the senior school.
Looking forward to it. Join us. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.